Follow at But Would You and you'll be alright. What's going on? What's going on? What's going on, everybody? Appreciate y'all tapping in. All right. I'm going to do a couple quick breakdowns here for what's going on in the market and give you guys some insight. So let me play around right here, share this screen. And what screen do you want to see? You want to see this one? Boom. All right. So you guys should be able to see my screen now. If you're on IG, what's going on? What's going on? If you're able to hop on into YouTube, you'll get a better view for some of the metrics we're going to break down. So first things first, my peoples. All right, my fault. Let's hop on to Bitcoin. What we got going on? What we got going on with Bitcoin, right? This is the question. Are we going to be rich is the question. So a few things. We're on the weekly chart here for Bitcoin. And this yellow gold line here is the 20-week moving average. 20-week moving average. Anytime a crypto asset is above the 20-week moving average, it's a good sign. And if it's below the 20-week moving average, if it's a good asset, you want to be dollar cost averaging it. So if we just look really briefly here, obviously, if you would have bought all during this time, it would have been really good for you because now the price is up here. Let's change this color up. What color we want to go with? We'll go with teal today. So obviously, if you buy low, you can sell high, right? Anytime we're underneath this gold line is the time you want to be buying. So let's look back historically really quick and see if that actually plays out. So let's take this. If we come back here and we look at, we got the date on the bottom. You can see the date. So 2018 in January, if you would have been buying down here, anytime you're under the gold line, right? All this would have been time to buy under the gold line. And then you could have been selling up here. Same here, buy under the line, sell above the line, buy under the line. And then look at this one. You can sell anytime way up here, right? So I was just wanted to point that out to you. 20-week moving average, super simple. You guys can all turn on the 20-week moving average, buy when it's underneath of it, sell when it's on top of it. All right, so let's see what happens now with Bitcoin, right? The question is not what happened then, it's what's going on now. So if we look into it right now, we got Bitcoin sitting at 60, almost 62,000. So we broke above prior highs over here. And let me do that. Boom. Let me change this one here real quick for you. Boom. All right, so we broke above prior highs. So what we need to do is set a line. We're going to set a horizontal line as some resistance over here. All right, so easy enough. When the candles are below your line, it is an R, it's resistance. When the candles are above your line, it's S as a support. So right here, we were resisting going higher. And now that we are higher, we want this line to hold us up. We want that line to be support, right? So we don't want to go under that line. So that's what we're looking for. Again, this is on the weekly view. So when the candles are underneath, it's resistance. When the candles are on top, it's support. So let's go to a daily view. And now when we're looking at this daily view, you can also see we were up here for just a few, and we came back down, and then we got rejected. And then similarly, I don't know if I'm saying that correctly. Over here, we went above, and we've been holding it as support, right? So first things first, we want to try to continue to hold this red line as support. So about $60,100. So we want to hold above $60,100. Dudley, what's going on, my guy? Yo, shout out to Dudley. He let me know I'm giving out the fire info. I appreciate you. I appreciate you. Shout out to you, Dudley. All right, so boom. We want to stay above the red line. So what, if anything, can we agree on is an okay pullback, right? We've been moving pretty quickly. We've had this run up, you know, if we take a measuring move right here from September 29th to currently, we went up 60% at one point. We're chilling right now up 50%. And if we look at the time span, that was over 27 days. So just over 27 days, right? So we want to try to hold this red line right now as support. Uh-oh. Oh, hold on one second. My IG, we back. IG, we back. So we want to try to hold this red line as support so we can continue moving up to the upside. So where's an okay pullback to where we're not too scared, where we can still either maybe get an entry on something if we haven't got an entry yet, or if not get an entry, where can we not want to sell, not expect us to go lower. So right now the levels that I'm seeing that we need to hold are between the 60K level and 58K. And let me show you why. So if we come back here, we're going to try to look for a supply zone. So I'm going to grab this box here. There's supply right here from this top down to this wick over here. And we run this all the way over. So the levels that I'm seeing right now, we need to hold right here, 57, so pretty much 58K down to 53K. And does that coincide with anything? Do we have confluence anywhere? It looks like yes, we do. Let me move this to the front. And we have confluence from our Fibonacci's. We got the 0.5 level fib. We got the 0.5 level fib right here telling us that we have support at 53K. We have the 0.38 level at about 57K. So what I would really like to see is us hold above, and we can actually, do I want to go this low right there? Let's move this a little bit. So we're going to move this box just a little bit to, maybe if I can get things working here. There we go. All right, right to the bottom of that candle. Move this up a little bit to the top of this candle. Boom. So we can go down to about this 55, I would call it 55. 55K, we're still not looking terrible, right? But what we want to see is before we get down to that 55K, first things first, we would love to hold this red line, maybe get a move here and then continue back to the upside. That would be, the first thing we would love to see. Secondly, from there, maybe we do lose that and we come down to the top of this box and then we move to the upside. And the last thing to still possibly hold on to our hats and still be moving up to the upside would be come down here to about 54, 55, and then move to the upside. So any one of those moves over the next week or two, to me, is still giving us bullish sentiment. Again, I think we may have a pullback just because if we go back to this weekly view, and I'm going to remove these drawings now. On this weekly view, we have a shooting star candle formation. So right here, that candle is a shooting star. And usually shooting stars indicate we could have a trend reversal, right? So if we pull this up, shooting star trading. Oh, well, that didn't work. Shooting star trading. Shooting star definition: a shooting star occurs after an advance and indicates the price could start falling. The formation is bearish because the price tried to rise significantly during the day, but then the sellers took over and pushed the price back down toward the open. All right, so when we look back here at this weekly, during this week, this just means buyers tried to run the price up at the beginning of the week, throughout the middle of the week, but then ultimately towards the end of the week, they weren't successful. And it could cause selling pressure because people think we're not going to continue back up. So interested to see if that does play out. Again, the levels that we want to look for when we go back to our daily candles here. Let's draw our box again. Where there what once was supply, we're hoping now becomes demand. So right here, there was a lot of supply down to about here. And now we want the people that previously purchased or previously were buying up here have been waiting a long time for the price to get back there, right? They've been waiting a long time for the price to get back there. So now that the price is back there, are they going to continue to hold, which would let the price go up higher? Or did they sell because they were waiting for so long for the price to get back up? So something to look out for. Again, we want to hold about 55K is the lowest we want to see a daily close. And then it would be excellent if we continue to close above 58 or 60K. That would indicate that we're going to push higher back to the upside pretty quickly. So that's what we got for Bitcoin. And obviously Bitcoin dictates the market, right? So now if we really quick check out the Bitcoin dominance just shows that if Bitcoin dominance is down, then altcoins will run high. If Bitcoin dominance is up, then altcoins are going to chill for a while. So again, if we're looking right here on the daily, Bitcoin dominance has been down for a while, letting altcoins do their thing. The 20-week moving average, Bitcoin dominance is just now testing it. If it goes under this, that would be excellent for us because then altcoins would really go wild. If it holds right here, then altcoins will slowly increase, but not really do anything too crazy. And then if the dominance reverses and starts pushing back up to this red line, then we can see altcoins either losing a little bit of value or, yeah, pretty much they'll probably lose a little bit of their value as Bitcoin dominance takes over and Bitcoin starts to either gain value or it increases its market share. Hey, what's up, Jordan? My guy. Shout out Jordan. Part of the Patreon fam. He knows what's good. And you already know he knows. Hashtag don't forget to pay. Please, guys, like, share, subscribe if you don't mind. It's it really does help me. So if you could do that, I appreciate you. All right. So let's move through it here really quick. Again, that's the dominance. So Bitcoin, we don't want it to go under the lowest, 55K. If it stays above 58 to 60K, even better. Bitcoin dominance, if Bitcoin dominance goes below this yellow line, that's great for the altcoins. They'll continue to run. If it reverses, then Bitcoin will probably be in the driver's seat and look for it to push back up towards this red line. All right, those are the two things with the chartings. For some of the news I was seeing, obviously we got a Mastercard over here. We don't care about that. So Mastercard is planning to integrate Bitcoin and other cryptocurrencies into its payment and banking platforms. So this is a real world adoption, right? This is what we've been talking about. This is why we say that the total crypto market cap will probably increase by 2 to 3 to 4 to 5x coming throughout the next few months because of these type of things happening, right? Bitcoin dominance could go down. The overall market cap goes up because real world adoption. So I just wanted to point that out. Also, another article I was checking out is Bank of America and as well as other banks are looking to find out how they're able to hold cryptocurrency. U.S. regulators exploring how banks could hold crypto assets, FDIC chairman says. A top U.S. bank regulator said U.S. officials are looking to provide a clearer path for banks and their clients that are looking to hold cryptocurrencies in order to keep control over the fast developing asset. So again, if you know how to use a MetaMask, you know how to control your own assets. You have ownership of your money, right? When you put your money into the bank, they pretty much own it. They do what they want with your money. And then when you come to collect it, they find a way to give it right back to you. So if you hold crypto assets in, let's say, a ledger or a MetaMask, you have control of the money. You can make your money work for you from checking out plenty of the different DeFi protocols or, there's so many different ways that you can find ways to earn on your money or earn on your crypto. So I stress the importance of owning your assets. Hey, shout out to my guy. So Speed Chess Club, my main man. Awesome charting as always. Quick question. If Bitcoin goes down to 55K, would you recommend a person that is brand new to Bitcoin investing to start DCAing at that time? What a phenomenal question. Let's go back over here to Bitcoin really quick. And yes, 100% in my opinion, right? So let's pull up Bitcoin's chart one more time. Give me 1 second as I grab it here. Bitcoin, and we were looking at it on Bitfinex, I believe. There we go. So yeah, so what Speed Chess was saying right there is that if Bitcoin does pull back, right, and it comes to one of these areas, do I think it would be a good time to buy? Again, I think crypto's total market cap is going to increase by 3 to 5x multiples, right? So if the total crypto market cap goes up 3 to 5x, it would be a good time to buy, in my opinion. This would be the pullback. You would want to maybe DCA in here at 58, buy a little bit more once it gets down to 55, and then ride the train up. If you're a little bit too scared for that, then the next time you might want to buy is you can wait until we come all the way down to that 20-week moving average. Remember, that's always going to be, in my opinion, a good area to buy at that 20-week moving average, because if you can hold that as support, you usually see good things, right? We held it here, saw great things. If we come back a little bit down here, we held it there, then you've seen great things. And then even if we take it back all the way to, like 2017, Even back here in 2017, if you would have bought any time when it hit that moving average, right? Look at this. You buy down here, touches the moving average, you get 576%. So you put in 1,000, you get back 5,000. Not a terrible time to buy, right? So anytime it's hitting that 20-week moving average, could be a good time to buy. And if it's underneath the 20-week moving average, DCA it is in my opinion. Even if you DCA for years, right? There's people that DCA for years and then they get their payoff period and they make sure they take profits. Down here, if you would have bought and then you get this run up, look at that. That's another 500% from the 20-week moving average. And then if we go right here and we go up, we're already at 60%. And now let's just see what happens if we went up about 500%. So if we went up 500% from this time, bouncing off the moving average, we would have a Bitcoin price of $244,000. Not saying that that's going to happen, but history may not always repeat, but sometimes it rhymes. So yeah, I think it would be so great question, Speed Chess. All right. So with that being said, mass adoption coming in from those two new articles we've seen that Bitcoin, and this works for a lot of other crypto assets as well. Sorry, just a quick sidetrack. If we look at, I was looking at XLM recently, I believe was the one. Let me see here. You look at XLM, it recently just had a bounce off of its 20-week moving average. Same over here. If you would have got in on this 20-week moving average, same here, right? So when you get in, let's look at Ethereum really quick. Actually, Ethereum. Oh, where's Bitfinex Ethereum? I need the USD pair. There we go. Same thing with Ethereum. Buy in at the 20-week moving average over here. Ride the wave. 1,100%. Put in 1,000, you get back 11,000. So far over here, 20-week moving average, 55%. Right? So using those 20-week moving averages can be very, very, very helpful, in my humble opinion. And then if you find something, you know, underneath that 20-week moving average and it's a good project, right? Then again, that could help as well. You just DCA it while it's under it. Don't put in, it's not financial advice, you know, all that. Don't put in anything you can't afford to lose, but make smart decisions, right? Try to make your best educated decision that you can. So Bitcoin's total market cap. Now this part is the juicy part. I don't know if we got anybody still watching, everyone's still in here, but this is where it's really about to get juicy. So we're going to do some on-chain metrics. Bitcoin's current market cap, 1.1 trillion. So a cool thing that on-chain lets you see is they take into account for some of Bitcoin's price being lost, or you know how Ethereum is now burning their token. So for Bitcoin, it's been around for so long, there's some people that no longer actually know how to access their Bitcoin. Maybe they lost it in their seed phrase. Maybe they you know, passed away and they don't have, no one has access to their crypto. So there's actually something that I wanted to point out here. So give me 1 second. Oh, I meant to show these banners, right? Bitcoin next key level to hold 58 to 60. And then I meant to show this one, which was mass adoption coming to crypto. So I actually remember to show this one. So on-chain data says UTXO is the unspent transaction output. So that's one term you might hear. And then realized cap is what I really wanted to point out to you. Realized capitalization is a variation of market capitalization and values each UTXO based on price when it was last moved. So basically what that says is the realized cap takes into account the value of each token from the time it last moved. So if I bought Bitcoin in 2011 and it was worth $100, and then I never moved that Bitcoin, right? Let's say I bought 100 Bitcoin and it was worth $100 each, and I never moved that Bitcoin. It's just been sitting in that same wallet. They're taking that into account with this metric, and they're saying that they're not going to say, okay, well, the 100 Bitcoin that you bought are now worth the current value. They're saying the 100 Bitcoin you bought are the same value as the time you bought them, right? So it takes that into account. It's very, very important, because for people that did lose their Bitcoin or lose access to their cryptocurrency, the price won't reflect, and the price shouldn't reflect, because if you can never access it again, then, well, it's pretty much a lost supply. So when we go back here, Bitcoin is at 1.1 trillion, but circulating supply 18.8 million. So really, out of this 18.8 million, they estimate that maybe only 13 to 14 million is actually in circulating supply, and 3 to 5 million has been lost, or whatever the case may be. So with Glassnode, this realized capitalization takes that into account. So it's really, really important to remember that. So this Bitcoin realized cap, if I hold over here, shows the realized cap of about $410 billion. So $410 billion. Why, again, is that important? Because this Bitcoin market cap shows 1.1 trillion. So of the 1.1 trillion market cap that Bitcoin has, in reality, the market cap is only about 400 billion, because people have lost access to their coins. They've lost access to their Bitcoin. So that Bitcoin will never actually be in circulation again. So that's something that's really important when you take that into account. All right. So the next thing I want to show is the Mvrv, market value to realized value ratio. As the name suggests, a ratio of an asset's market capitalization to its realized cap. So we just talked about the realized cap, right? The realized cap takes into account lost tokens, pretty much. So the Mvrv takes into account the realized cap as well as the market cap. So let's go ahead and click there. So this is a metric I threw together. Actually, no, this is the standard metric, Mvrv. And this basically tells you the fair value of Bitcoin. It tells you the fair value when this orange line is towards the bottom here, towards 1. That tells you the fair value of Bitcoin, right? And again, it's a fair value because it's taken into account the realized cap as well as the actual market cap. So the best value to buy Bitcoin of recent was in March of 2020, when we had almost a 1 reading on the Mvrv. As this goes higher, as we get these spikes in here, that's saying that the market cap, or I'm sorry, the realized cap is actually overvalued. Bitcoin is overvalued when you take into account the realized cap and the market cap. So it's good to check these numbers. This is one ratio I really like to know when to take profits. So I use that, and I use that with, oh, I'm sorry, actually I haven't used that with. This is a new metric I just found. And guys, smash the like one time for your boy, especially if you like the new software I'm trying to put together. I'm trying to make it a little bit smoother for you guys. So realized profits, RPV, realized profits to value. Now, this is a metric that was created by ARK Invest. So I'm sure some of you guys have probably heard of ARK Invest before, which obviously, it's probably a good metric to use. So realized profits, RPV, is defined as the ratio of realized profits and realized cap. We already went over what realized cap was. This metric compares profit taking in the market with its overall cost basis on a dollar-to-dollar basis, meaning that the market is oversold when we're up top here, and that realized the RPV is greater than this middle line here, the middle, so 0.001. Anytime we're over top of that, people are going to start taking profits. Once we get into this red area up top, when we get to about an RPV of about, where can I get to it here? 0.02, most people are going to be taking profits. So another metric you can keep your eye on. If we're undersold down here, then it's time to buy. All right, what's another on-chain metric that I'm going into is the NUPL, which you guys have heard of me talk about the NUPL before, the net unrealized profit and loss. And this indicator is really huge. Anytime it turns blue over 0.75, it's usually a great time to take profit. So anytime the NUPL turns blue, it's a great time to take profit. Currently, the NUPL is sitting at 0.64. Again, blue is 0.75, so we still have some space to run on that. Just keep your eyes out on the NUPL. If you see it turn blue, I would immediately start taking profits if you haven't already. And what else do we have here? Oh, okay, and this is a metric that I put together. This is Bitcoin's, so the Mvrv as well as the realized cap correlated with Bitcoin's price. So anytime Mvrv actually comes down and touches the realized cap, it's a good time to buy. Good time to buy, good time to buy. And if it's underneath over here, which we can see, so this is just dating back to January 2018, the MVR was way, way, way oversold. So we came back down to the realized cap. And anytime we touch the realized cap, it's a good time to buy. Because again, the realized cap tells you the price of the tokens that are not really moving, right? So if I bought 100 Bitcoin in 2011 and they were worth $100, the realized cap takes that into account, and it says that those 100 Bitcoin are only worth $1,000, right? 100 Bitcoin, or I'm sorry, 100,000, whatever that math is, 10,000. So if we cross underneath of this realized cap with the MVR, you know it's a good time to be dollar cost averaging. So these are some really strong metrics that I just wanted to point out to you guys. If you have the time, go into Glassnode. I'll drop the link for you guys as well, so that way you can check it out from there. And then this is the metric, I'm sorry, that I actually put together. Anytime this blue line is coming and trying to touch the realized price, Bitcoin's realized price, which is the green line on this one, then you know it's a great time to take profit, and especially if it supersedes it to the upside. So right here, you needed to have been taking profit, here, profit. And as we move back up, I'm expecting it to get to at least a 6, I think was the metric. And if we get to a green, then we're definitely going to be taking profit. If you guys want to do the crazy price predictions, so Speed Chess said, is Bitcoin Nupo a good tool to use for altcoins as well? And I 100% agree with that, right? Because what Bitcoin does, it dictates the market. So if Bitcoin is going to be running really hot and it's going to crash from the Nupo, then the rest of the tokens are going to crash as well. So with your altcoins, they usually run a little bit after Bitcoin. So you need to be taking profits on your altcoins. Maybe you take about 50 to 60 to 70% of your position off. You might leave a small amount. That small amount gets the extra leg that the altcoins usually have after Bitcoin. And then eventually we get a mass correction, right? So when that happens, when it turns to 0.75, I'll be looking to swap into stable coins, holding my stable coins to the side, waiting for Bitcoin's price to correct, and then buying back into really, really solid projects. So great question, Speed Chess. And we already talked about this metric. So the last thing that we can do is we can speculate on Bitcoin's price by throwing a reverse fib on here and seeing how high we may go. And we have let me do a different chart that's a little bit more cleaner. 1 second. A little bit more cleaner. Grab this Bitfinex chart that we got. Boom. Throw on one of these reverse fibs from this high on this low. And on the low end, I think we could see Bitcoin hitting 100K to 150K, right? And that's just based off the fibs. So where would that put us from here? About a 200% increase. So will altcoins go a lot higher? You probably have a good chance of that. So I would definitely keep an eye on your legitimate altcoin projects. And you can probably find some legitimate altcoin projects by just looking over to this right-hand side here, right? So, all right, guys, I hope that was helpful. I hope the information was useful. If you could please, again, hit the like for me one more time if you haven't, and I'll catch you on the next one. Peace out.